Hello, Old School Comic Reviews. We have another random comic book. This one is going to be New Teen Titans number 38 from 1983. DC Comics written by Marv Wolfman and art by George Perez. DC, Frank Miller's Ronin poster. Don't miss it. Okay, so we'll just jump into it. So the opening scene is a remote post in Alaska somewhere. You see these guys just kind of standing around guarding the place, and the Titans kind of jump them, and then they kind of raid the joint, and you get this really cool double page spread by George Perez. And for fun, you can kind of look it up and compare it to a similar scene that Rob Liefeld did in an early issue of X-Force, but okay. So basically, the Titans kind of like mow through these guys who look like they're soldiers, but they are, of course, bad guys. Titans rush into this mysterious room where something's going on. But of course, it's a trap. And they're being held in an energy cage. And we find out the henchmen are all working for Brother Blood. This is one of his evil nuns here. And the Titans, however, decide they're going to cause an energy feedback. And so they escape the energy cage. They mop up the rest of the guys. And here we have Tara, who's the newest member of the group, basically complaining that the others aren't really paying enough attention to her. But then we have this close-up and we realize that hidden in Tara's contact lens is actually a camera. And she's recording everything. And we find out the reason the Titans raided that place is they figured out that Brother Blood was in fact paying off these politicians who are working for him. And then we see this. There's a curious puff of smoke. But the puff of smoke is not occurring in the scene with the Titans. It's being produced by who's ever watching this. And the person watching this is actually watching the tape of what happened. And it is, in fact, Tara and her evil partner, Deathstroke. And they're at Deathstroke's remote hideout somewhere. And we find out they're actually in cahoots. And they're going to take down the Titans. In the meanwhile, they're going to go through a little training session of their own. And we get to the obligatory action scene. Where Tara is using her abilities, her earth powers, to attack Deathstroke. He uses all of his skills and enhanced abilities to try to stay alive. Okay, but Deathstroke tells her it's time to get back to the Titans, and she basically reveals how she just hates them and can't stand them. Not because they've done anything bad to her or anything. She just thinks they're sanctimonious do-gooders. So anyway, she makes it back to Titans headquarters, and she sees Wally West, who's Kid Flash still at this point, uh, going to the meeting in civilian clothes. And he basically lets everyone know that he is going to be taking a leave of absence because he basically wants to go back to college and finish school. So everybody wishes him well. And Dick Grayson decides this is a good time to make an announcement of his own. And he basically lets them know that he is no longer going to be Robin. Now, they actually think he's quitting the team and he's quitting being a superhero. But really, he just lets them know that he's not going to stop being a superhero. He just doesn't want to be Robin anymore because he feels he's kind of outgrown the role. He's still going to be a superhero, but he's going to take some time off while he comes up with a new identity for himself. And in the meantime, Donna Troy is going to be the team leader for a moment. Here we get a pretty interesting panel here where everybody's saying goodbye to Dick. And Wally's a little bit, it's not pissed, but he's like, huh. They like him more than they like me. Then we come down here and Deathstroke's all, ha ha, my plan is coming together. And of course we have the kind of tender send-off. Wally's old girlfriend comes to meet him. And it's pretty much the end of the episode. Okay. All right. This is actually a pretty interesting issue for a bunch of reasons. Well, first of all, it's just pretty well written, and you have some marvelous, really great artwork from George Perez. I think in this one, he's actually doing his own inking, and it's just really strong visuals and things like that. It's also interesting. It's also kind of a key issue. Of course, you have Dick Grayson giving up the Robin mantle for the first time. A few issues later, a few issues later, he does become Nightwing as part of another story called the Judas Contract, which this issue actually helps set up. The Judas Contract, of course, is a story where Deathstroke actually does capture the Titans. The Titans find out that Terra's been a traitor all along, and there's a lot of heavy emotional fallout from that. So we have those things going on. Oh, there's also this scene, which I think is a little bit more controversial now than it was when it came out. When we find out that, or when we see, I should say, Terra at Deathstroke's hideout, she's there wearing a robe. Her little high heel slippers are on the floor there. She's smoking a cigarette. She's wearing this garish makeup, and it's never stated in the comic, you don't see anything going on. Nobody says anything's going on. But there's the implication that maybe Terra had a sexual relationship with Deathstroke as well as a business relationship. Like I said, it's not actually stated, so you could go either way on it, but it's kind of implied there. Why would she be in a robe if they weren't, doing the do? It actually was addressed later down the line where they did a storyline called The Trial of the Terminator, and Beast Boy actually attacks Terminator, and they have a big fight. When the fight's over, they still have a conversation, and I think Beast Boy actually asked them straight out, "Were you having, sex with Terra?" And Deathstroke basically says something to the point of, "Does it matter?" You know, do you really want to know? Does it matter? What difference does it make? Or something like that. And I kind of felt that on one hand, of course, does it matter in the fictional world? But I also kind of wonder if that was kind of Marv Wolfman, kind of saying that to the fans. Terminator's a bad guy. Terra was a bad guy. They've killed millions of people. Was it real? Is that the worst thing that could have happened if, the two of them were actually having sex? I don't know. You can take it however you want to take it. But they're, of course, older man, younger woman relationships aren't anything new, and they're not necessarily new in comics either. And they're not even anything new for this comic. I mean, Jonna Troy was having a relationship and eventually married Terry Long. Donna was about maybe 18 or 19, and Terry was in his late 20s. But on the other hand, Tara is like 16 or 17, and Deathstroke, I don't know if they ever said how old he is, but by the way he's drawn, he's obviously a middle-aged man. His hair is gray, and it was established that he does have adult children. He has kids who are 18, 19, 20. So it's kind of a difference. So, but you know, like I said, you can take it however you want to take it, and I just think it's interesting. It's interesting food of thought. Okay, so anyway, there you go. Teen Titans number 38. Tight writing, really great artwork, and of course, this issue kind of pivotal in Titans history. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a great day.